Dr. Young has been a leader in public health policy and medical and social issues. He was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s personal physician during the latter stays in Chicago and served for many years as chairman of the Medical Committee for Human Rights. So now to distribute awards in his named for him in his honor is Dr. Quentin Young.
Thank you very much. I have to explain, names almost embarrassing to be here to give these awards, which have my name on them. Now, the deal that you make when they put your name on something, you're supposed to die. I like to disappoint the establishment. I have to tell you, you are worth living for. Well, I'll say no more and get on with the task I have with my brilliant assistant, Ida, helping. We'd like Dr. Mike Huntington to please come this way. Only a partial statement, but we want this group to know that you're a leader of the Oregon PNHP. But the most dazzling thing about you is the Matters Health Doctors Tour. How many people know what I'm talking about? In a sense, we're giving it to the entire group, but he's the representative. My heartiest congratulations. Please say a few words. Say many words.
Well, I tried to make it clear during our session this morning about activism that you need to organize, you need to get the word out, but most of all, you've got to have fun. This has to be fun. And it sounds strange to have fun doing something so serious. But if you don't, you're not effective. So get that smile, get those people singing, and have fun fighting.
Yes, a proper amount of enthusiasm. I want to introduce the other recipient of this award. Actually, it's a group of people from the state of Vermont. You may have heard of it. Pretty active there. On their way, we hope, to a single-payer system. We recognize they're not there yet, but they're pointed in the right direction. I'd like Ellen Oxfield. Dr. Oxfield is with the Vermont Healthcare for All, working very closely with Deb Richter, our member and board member, and one of the key architects of that wonderful development. And finally, or at least lastly, Alice Silverman and Marvin Merrick. I'm going to surprise Marvin. We've been talking all day, and he didn't know he was going to give him an award. Silverman is in the audience. All right. Well, will you make sure she gets it? Of course. Come this way.
When I worked at the county hospital from 1978 to 1981, Quentin initially was the department chair. I worked with Gordy closely, and I think the conversation was with Gordy. He was asking me why I was leaving Cook County Hospital, because I had told him how much it's such a treasured part of my life for reasons you've already heard tonight. And I told him because I just really love mountains and cold weather, beautiful places, and snow. And I'm now proud to say that I find myself at the center point of one of the most important struggles for the single-payer movement, the state of Vermont. And I have to say, in response to something David said about disparities, that by many measures, Vermont actually is already the healthiest state in the country. And the first state with a single-payer system, the first bastion of single-payer healthcare in the United States, that disparity is going to grow. So I want to ask your indulgence on this. Please help us, even though you're temporarily going to be increasing the disparities in the United States. Because if we can succeed in this struggle in Vermont, believe me, it will spread like wildfire, just like it did in Canada. So please, folks, we have ways that we need your help. And we'll try to get that in the next newsletter, or we'll get the word out in any way we can. We need your help. There's a long struggle to go in Vermont. And thank you so much for the award. And thank you, all those who educated me at Cook County Hospital, including Quentin and Gordy and many others, March, and others who are in the room. Thank you all very much.
Well, firstly, I just want to say I'm a little bit speechless to be standing next to Quentin Young and to have an award with his name on it. It's really very meaningful. And I do hope that we have a ways to go in Vermont, but we do think we've made some progress, and we hope we will be the first state to establish healthcare as a common good. And when that happens, we know the people in New York and New Hampshire and Massachusetts will be looking over their shoulders. And you know, in the 60s, we all poo-pooed the domino theory when we talked about it. But we hope that this domino theory will work.
There's going to be another award, but given by somebody else, thank goodness, but it is in the honor of the late Nick Scala. I happen to know Nick particularly well because he, of course, worked in the Chicago office. More important in this respect, he shared my apartment with me, and he was a most remarkable man. I don't plan to tell all the marvelous things he did in his short life, but he was very talented. Just for example, he went to law school. He didn't like it, but you know, I've been in an academic setting most of my life, so I know a serious scholar when there is one. Much as he disliked law school, whenever he had something to write, and they have a lot to write, I don't know what they're doing, but he would, whether it was midnight or 2, 3 in the morning, he'd stick with his project till then. And indeed, when he passed, the top faculty at Northwestern shared our loss, and the dean actually came and read a remark, a discourse that he typed to the dean, and it was just brilliant, and it was nothing commonplace or elementary, but the dean was, I think, paying tribute to his talent, and it's a huge loss. For myself, I came to think of him as one of my own children and grieve over his loss. But we've created a reward, or an award in his honor, and I'd like to call Danielle Alexander up to give it right behind me. Go ahead. Danielle.
Thank you. Hi, so I was asked to give this award tonight, and it's my pleasure to do so. I had just the pleasure of working with and learning from Nick. It's the summer of 2009. And one of the things I want to say is that Nick, not only was he fluent in the arguments of single payer, but he just seemed to naturally have this intuition about organizing and leading locally and on the national level. And that is those are certainly qualities that the recipient of this award shares. So, before I tell you his name, I want to share with you just a few things that the recipient has done. And keep in mind, this is a student. The recipient this year is a medical student, a third-year medical student. For example, he's co-founded a PNHP chapter on his school. He co-organized